For anyone that's just tuning in here, I am working on a draft I started last night while I wait for people to join in. Hey Maker, welcome to the stream. You haven't missed much. I just started the stream in the middle of this game. Oh man, hexproof. Well, that was good. This Jaya's Immolating Inferno has been really good for me this draft. I have 7 legendary things though, so it's pretty castable. You can barely hear me. Let me see. I think this is as high as I can get the mic, so if you can't hear me anymore, you may have to work on your sound. Your sound is on max volume. Okay, well, I mean, I can try and speak louder, I suppose, but my microphone output is at max volume as well, as far as I can tell. I'm going to keep playing here. Again, this is a draft from last night. I'm a red-black sacrifice deck. Seems like a good way to start the stream, let people get in, so they can watch the draft portion if they want to. This seems okay. It's a little slow. Hey, Myra the Third, who I'm going to call by the correct name. I realized last stream I was calling you Maroy. You haven't missed the draft portion yet. This is just a draft from last night that I'm just playing to give people time to get in. So I think my opponent's probably on Field of the Dead, which is a land that says when a land comes into play, if you have 7 lands with different names, you get a 2/2 zombie token. Alright, do I want to kill this Elvish Reclaimer? I kind of do. We'll do it. They'll still get their Field of the Dead. So maybe this wasn't a great play. There's that Field of the Dead. Poke in for 1. Get a 3/3. Alright, go Phoenix. For anybody who doesn't know, the Phoenix, when it dies, gives me a 0/1 that says at the beginning of my upkeep, sacrifice the 0/1 and get my Phoenix out of the graveyard, and it gets haste. So as long as they don't also kill the token, then the Phoenix keeps coming back. So I'm going to block with this. I could block with the Phoenix, but I suspect a removal spell. And if I block with the Phoenix and then they kill the token, then the Phoenix is just dead. Ooh, Siege Gang Commander. I have one of those too. Throw a goblin at my Siege Gang Commander. Yeah. Oh, that's good that that was a mountain, because that it wasn't a differently named land, which means they won't get a zombie next turn. I'm going to play this Mayhem Devil and see what they do. So Mayhem Devil says whenever a player sacrifices a permanent, deals 1 damage to any target. That's any player sacrifices a permanent. So if they're going to throw goblins with their Siege Gang Commander, they want to do it before this Mayhem Devil lands. And then probably what they're going to do is fling the Siege Gang Commander at the Phoenix token so that the Phoenix doesn't come back, I imagine. But it's taxing their mana to do all this, and while I continue to get ahead on the board. Ooh, Vraska, that was really good. They get to kill the Mayhem Devil before flinging the Siege Gang. Or they can, I guess they can just kill the token straight up. No, they're going to do it that way. Lucky for me, I have this Whisper Liturgist, or Blood Liturgist, which can buy back either the Phoenix or the Siege Gang, or a lot of good targets for it to buy back. Alright. I'm going to kill Vraska and attack them. And I'm going to keep the Canyon Slow in my hand because I would rather cycle it than play a land. I have enough lands at this point. Explore, acceptable. The only thing I don't want to see is like a Sweltering Suns, which would deal 3 damage to the whole board, which would wipe my board. I don't think there are any other board wipes they can do with the mana they've got. Sure. Do I have lethal? So if I tap Blood Liturgist, so I send everybody, they block Young Pyromancer. Before damage, I sack the Pyromancer and a token. So they take 3, go to 5. I get Siege Gang Commander. I can only shoot them for 4. If I'd played that Canyon Slow, they'd be dead this turn. Alright, well, I'm going to play the Canyon Slow now. And I'm going to go with that plan. Oh, I just realized I have a legendary permanent, so I could Jaya's Inferno. Oops. 4. Yeah, well, I messed up. I could have killed them this turn in 2 different ways, but that's alright. I'd like Siege Gang Commander, please. I still think I am very likely to win this game. So I think a board wipe is the only thing that saves them here. And even then they go to 1. And then any legendary permanent gets me there. So I think they're going to board wipe here. Otherwise, this attack doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Probably Sweltering Suns. Yep, there it is. Alright. Any Planeswalker? Any legendary permanent? No? Okay. I'm going to keep the Swamp in hand because I want to discard it to the Magmatic Channeler. It's a lot of mana. Also, I do not know how they tapped all their mana at once like that. There must be a key for that, but I don't know how to do that. Ooh, Hydra, okay. Gets to eat my Channeler. I have lots of draws that kill them. I just need one of them. But my window is running short. That was not one of them. Man, I hope I don't lose this game because of my screw up. That would be a bummer. Maybe taking as much as 9, 10, 11 next turn. If that happens, I only have one turn left. Oh, that Vastword Surge. That's gonna hurt. Oh, they went with the land. Interesting. What's their last card? Oh, Scarab God. That's a good one. So I am dead next turn if I cannot draw what I have Into the Royal, or not Into the Royal, Royal Eruption, I mean, or any of the 3 Chandras, or I have 1 or 2 other legendary permanents. Mountain is not going to do it. QQ taps all your mana. I didn't know that. Thanks, Maker. So yeah, I am dead, and I threw this game away. That's the way it goes. This was actually the first game of this draft where Jaya's Immolating Inferno routed in my hand. Bluff having settled the wreckage with my red-black deck. Alright, well, it didn't work. Okay, so we now have made it to drafting. So I will warn you that I am not good at this format. That was my 6th draft you just saw. I think that's basically the best I've done. I've mostly done best of 3, but I've gone 1-2, 2-1, 1-2, 1-2, 0-3, and 4-2. Those last 2 were best of 1. So yeah, I'm not real good at this format, but we're just gonna keep doing it. Oh, look at that! They brought back traditional. Should we do best of 3 or best of 1? What do you all think? I'm going to do best of 1 just so we can see more opponents. I generally prefer best of 3 because I think sideboarding's cool, but we'll do best of 1 here so we can see more stuff. Alright, what do we have here? I like Brazen Borrower. I haven't played with Sarkhan yet. Seems like it could be good. If I wanted to try to force into mono white, Benalish Marshall is good, but that'd probably wheel if I wanted to go that route. Robber the Rich is fine in mono red. I'm gonna try Sarkhan. I haven't played it yet, or seen it played. Let's see here. We've got some lands. Voracious Hydra's pretty good. That's interesting. I haven't ever played with this card. I don't know if it's good or not. The Ox is good, especially if you're aggressive. If you're less than aggressive, it's just okay. Myra the Third, best of one means you just play one game per match, and you play to 7 wins or 3 losses. Best of 3 means each match is best 2 out of 3, and you get to sideboard in between your games, and you play 3 matches regardless of if you win or lose. I think I want to try this. I don't know if it's good, but I want to try it. Probably the Voracious Hydra is just better if that's the route I want to go, but we're experimenting. I'm passing a green-blue land, a green-black land, a red-black land. Good to know. Ooh, Sublime Epiphany. That is a sweet one. What else is there? Jace, Wielder of Mysteries is fine. Fatal Push is fine. Eliminate's fine. Could try to make Song of Freyalise work. I think I just want Sublime Epiphany. And we'll see. It'll probably pair better with green than red, but we'll see. So there's green-black lands. It's weird that there's 2 in the same pack. Imperious Perfect. I don't really want that. I think Allurious and Enraptured is probably the best. This card seems okay, but it's really expensive. Enraptured has synergies with like bounce things, blink effects or bounce effects. Also, it's a cheap card that blocks twice if I'm trying to be defensive. Yeah, Maker, I've been pretty bad at this particular cube. Cube is pretty fun in general. I don't know what I'm doing wrong here, but that's part of the fun of Cube, right? Is trying to figure it all out. I like Thassa's intervention. Inscription of Abundance is pretty good too. What else is there? There's Phylath, which is pretty good. If I was going to go green-red, I'd like to be in blue if I can. So if I'm looking at blue, what red, blue, or green cards are there? I think Thassa's Intervention and Rishkar and Inscription are all probably the best ones. I think I want Thassa's Intervention because I don't know for certain that I'm going to be green. So I'm going to take the blue card, safer pick, it's a good card. Treasure Map's pretty good too, but I feel like I want Thassa's Intervention more. So there's an Evolving Wilds, which can help fix. Ether Hub also helps fix. Sheltered Thicket. I don't think those are the colors I want to be right now. Primal Might's good if I'm on creatures. I don't know if I'm going to be on creatures yet. It's also better if you're aggressive. And Sublime Epiphany and Thassa's Intervention are not very aggressive cards. Explorer is kind of cool if I want to do the ramp thing. So I think it's between Explore to try and do the ramp thing, or Evolving Wilds just for better fixing. I'm going to go with Explore for now, I think. I'm leaning into blue-green here. Well, Growth Spiral, that seems like what I want to do. So I think this can put me into the blue-green ramp deck, because Explore and Growth Spiral are basically the same thing. There are not very many cheap ramp cards in this cube, There's only like one or two, there's only 2 1-drops that do it, and then there's some 2-drops. So 2 are kind of the best you're looking at. This Sulfur Fulls is semi-attractive too, in case I wanted to play red, but that doesn't seem super likely right now. Red hasn't seemed very open either. I haven't seen almost any red cards. So I'm going to go with this Growth Spiral. Try to go into blue-green ramp, which could turn into like a multicolor deck too. Well, Wolf Willowhaven is a ramp card. There's also Arch, which is fine. I don't think I want this card. And this would be good if I was in those colors, but I'm not. I don't have much in the way of splashing yet, or anything in the way of splashing. So I can take this Wolf Willowhaven, cement myself in green ramp. Into the World came back. I think that's a pretty solid card. Thassa's Oracle came back too. Oh, what pack was Jace in? Because if I could get Thassa's Oracle and Jace, that would be sweet. But I don't remember what pack Jace was in. I think I'm going to take Into the Royal. I think it's just an overall better card. Wow. Voracious Hydra and Breeding Pool came back? I really want that Hydra, but I kind of have to take the Breeding Pool, I think. I can't pass up the green-blue lands. Ugh. Feels bad passing that Voracious Hydra. Okay, Song of Freyalise. I don't think this is a deck for Song of Freyalise. That's not really where I am. Umara Wizard doesn't seem very good. Bonder's Enclave might be a thing. So I'll take Bonder's Enclave. I think that has the highest chance of being good in my deck. Alright, Imperious Perfect is not where I want to be. Mouth to Feed is also probably not where I want to be. So I'm going to take this green-black land on the off chance I want to splash black. Phylath? I think Phylath. So Castle Garenbrig is not bad, but it's also not really where I want to be. And if I get the chance to splash, Phylath is a great card to splash. I'll take Aether Hub, which could fit in any colors, and junk. Ooh, there's some good ones here. So I really like Tendershoot Dryad, but Lotus Cobra, like Lotus Cobra is like exactly what I want, right? And then a Shaya. A Shaya might just wheel. I'm going to take Lotus Cobra. It's another ramper. And it's a fixer, too. So I'm going to take that one. I'd be happy to see Escape the Wilds come back, or Tendershoot Dryad. I think First Iron Games or Shaya would be okay as well. But something will wheel out of this pack. I'd love to get Fabled Passage back, but that won't happen. So. Okay, so there's Scooze. Scavenging Ooze is a pretty good one. It's a little mid-rangey, though. There's Kazandu Mammoth, which would probably wheel. It's not a high pick. And then there's this land, but it's only one of my colors, and I want to splash red, not any of the other colors. So I think it's between Scooze and Mammoth. I'm going to go with Scooze. I think it can mess up enough decks that it's probably worth it. The exiling stuff out of the graveyard can be pretty good. Incubation Druid. There's also Spring to Mind. Talrand. Is Talrand where I want to be? It might be, but it also kind of isn't. So I think this is between Spring to Mind and Incubation Druid. Incubation Druid is generally stronger, but Spring to Mind is better with Phylath, and also it helps me splash. So I think I'm going to do that, as much as I like Incubation Druid. Also, the card draw from Mind can be good too. Ooh, there's a 1-mana ramper in this pack. I probably need, at some point, something to do with all my mana, but I think I want Llanowar Elves. Having 1 mana dorks is just, it's so good. And there's only 2 in the whole cube. There's Llanowar Elves and there's a Golden Goose, or Gilded Goose, or whatever it's called. There's nothing else in this pack that I'm especially excited about. I'd be fine with Visionary. I don't think the Octopus is really where this deck wants to be. So I think this is a pretty easy Llanowar Elf. I actually think I'd like Chain Web Arachneer to wheel, which it might. Midnight Clock's a good card, but it's not what my deck's trying to do. Ooh, there we go. There's a card to ramp into. Kogla. I think Inscription of Insight's pretty reasonable too, but Kogla is like exactly what my deck's looking for. It's a removal spell. It's a fatty. It also can handle artifacts and enchantments. Hey, Dual Lands, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining me. It's pretty late for you, isn't it? It's like 10:30 there. Oh, Torrential Gearhulk. Is that good in my deck? It's great with Sublime Epiphany. It's okay. The other option, though, is like Lifecrafter's Bestiary. I don't think I care that much about that, so I'm going to take the Gearhulk. It's just okay in my deck, but a 5/6 flash is never going to be bad, and sometimes I'll be able to copy Sublime Epiphany, make another one. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Not doing very well at finding cards to splash this Phylath, but there's a Triome and there's a Hydra. The Hydra will help me splash, and it's kind of a card to ramp into, but the Triome is a cycling land, and it's 2 of my colors and would help me splash black if I ever wanted to do that. So I think I have to take this. Never too late to watch me? Awesome. Oh, here's a land that'll help me splash. I do really like Once Upon a Time, though. Whew. Do I want the land to splash or Once Upon a Time? I think I want the land to splash. There's only going to be so many of those. Right, first Rowan Games came back. So did Escape the Wilds. I think maybe I want Escape the Wilds. First Rowan Games is fine. I'm going to take Escape the Wilds. I'm a little short on creatures here. I don't think I want Key to the City, so I'll take this land, although I'm probably not playing it. I do have a lot of ability to splash a black card now, though. I'll take Savage Stomp, although I don't think I'm going to play it. Arachneer came back. Nice. I don't want to play any of these. I guess I'll take the red card. I'm not going to play any of these. It's so weird they put Giant Growth in this cube. It just seems so bad. Alright, what do I need? I need, like, removal and a couple of things to ramp into. Ooh, Rashmi. That's a sweet one. There's also this Mythos. It's between Rashmi and the Mythos. Rashmi is rawly powerful. Draws me cards. I feel like Mythos is more likely to wheel. Because it's not great unless you're specifically Teamer. I'm going to go with Rashmi and hope that Mythos wheels. Ooh, Elder Gargaroth. There's also Neutralize, which I like. But I think I just need Elder Gargaroth. I'd be very happy with Neutralizer Exclusion Mage coming back. Blue Greenland. too good to pass up. Elvish Rejuvenator is fine too, but I definitely want this blue-green land. Reclamation Sage. Yeah, so this card's not really where I want to be because it's more of an aggro card than a ramp card. And this is a mid-rangey card that's, like, it's fine value, but that's also not where I want to be. Reclamation Sage can deal with some problem permanents, so I'm going to go with that. Dual lands, I'm drafting Cube. This is Arena Cube. Oh, there's our payoff right there. Hydroid Krasis. For those of you who don't know what this card does, when you have lots of mana, it wins you the game. So I'm stoked to see that. Yorion's not bad, although I don't know that it's that good in my deck. Sphinx's Rev is a pretty sweet card to ramp into. I would need to splash white. How easy is that for me to do? That's... yeah, I am not good at splashing white. As cool as that would be, Ram throws removal. It's pretty bad removal. I'm going to take the land, castle. Man, I'm still not finding things to fix for my red. I think this card's really good, but I don't want to splash it. So Supreme Will, I guess. It's a fine card. Great Henge? I think I want Great Henge. I'm a little shy on creatures, but that card's really powerful. For those of you who don't know what this does, it's 9 mana, but it gets cheaper for the total power of your biggest creature. Taps for 2 green and gain 2 life. Most importantly, when you play a creature, it gets a 1/1 counter and you draw a card. Non-token creature. Alright, so the card I wanted didn't come back. That's not surprising. I guess Spark Double is fine. I don't know that I'm going to play it. I don't really want Blossoming Defense. So Exclusion Mage did come back. I'm not sure if I'll play it, but I'll take it. Elvish Rejuvenator did come back, so I'll take that. And I am playing none of these. And playing none of these. Okay, so the green-black land can get out. I'm playing none of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I only have to make 1 cut right now. And, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna put my ramp creatures over here. Where'd you go, Llanowar Elf? Yeah. No, go over here. Thank you. Explore, Lotus Cobra, Wolf Willowhaven, Growth Spiral, Elvish Rejuvenator, and I guess Sylvana, kind of. Get on there. There we go. Alright, what are my payoffs? Rashmi, which isn't, it's a payoff, but it's not really a ramp payoff, but I'm still going to put it in that category. What does Gearhulk hit? It can hit Mind, it can hit Sublime Epiphany, it can hit Supreme Will, doesn't do anything with Thassa's Oracle, it can hit Into the Royal. Well, that's not bad. It can also hit Growth Spiral. So it's got some hits. So here's my payoffs, I guess. So what do I like the least? I'm kind of shy on creatures, so I probably don't want to cut a creature. probably want to cut one of my ramp cards. I probably have enough. Rejuvenator's probably the worst one because it's 3 mana. Alternatively, I could cut like Wolf Willowhaven or Explore. My thought there is they're not an instant like Growth Spiral, so they can't be flashed back with Torrential Gearhulk. They're both just kind of okay. And Wolf Willowhaven, while it acts like a creature, only kind of, it doesn't trigger off Great Henge. I mean, I can make a copy of it with Sublime Epiphany, but it's just a 2/2, so that's not that exciting. Elvish Rejuvenator finds a land, and it's a creature which triggers Great Henge. Alternatively, Alirios isn't really what my deck's trying to do, so maybe that's the cut. I don't really want to cut a creature, but doesn't really do... It's not really on plan. Neither is the Scavenging Ooze, but I think the Scavenging Ooze has enough utility that it's okay. So I'm going to cut this. Alright, let's look at my mana sources. So I have 9 blue cards, 18 green cards, 2 red cards, and my... Oh, I guess the gold cards are included in that. Okay, so right now I have 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blue sources. If we count Lotus Cobra, then 9. I guess 10, 11, sort of. Green sources, we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are all green. So I definitely need more green. I think like 2 more green. How many? I can probably cut at least 1 mountain. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I forgot about this. 5, 6. I have plenty of red, so I can cut 1 more mountain, I think. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11-ish. A lot of my fixing ends up costing green, so I have to hit forests. I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, plus the other fixing, so I'm probably good on blue. And then, do I want this Bonder's Enclave? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 cards that trigger it. It's not terrible. The consideration here is that Phylath only gives you a plant for each basic land you control, which is kind of weird. But it's a reason that I would want to play more basics, and right now I have 10 basics in the deck. That's probably fine. So it's really just down to this Bonder's Enclave or not. I don't feel like my mana's really good enough to play it. I'm just looking at my double color sources. 6, 7, 8, 9. I think I'm just going to play 1 more forest. I really, really want to hit a lot of green. Alright, I think that'll do it. Blue-green ramp. That Hydroid Krasis was really good. I'm so glad I saw that. Makes my deck so much better. Yeah, this seems fine. It's gonna go Triome, and then Sanctum, be the land order. Ooh, I might be against mono red aggro. Need to hit one more land so I can get this Gargoyle down. Well, maybe it's not mono red. Maybe it's red black sacrifice. It's more of what it looks like. Hit my red source. So I'm just gonna pass and leave up Thassa's Intervention, because next turn I get to Gargaroth if they don't kill the Cobra. So I want to keep the Cobra alive. Woe Strider. Yeah, I'll counter that. So I'd really like to hit one more land. I need to play the Gargaroth here, not the Rejuvenator, but if I can hit one more land, then I get to play Phylath on turn 5, which would be sweet. Follow up with the Rejuvenator. Knight? That's a bummer. It's a bummer because they can give a Death Touch and trade with the Gargaroth. But I'm up for that trade, and the question is, do I want a card or do I want a beast? I think I want a card because I really want to hit a land. There's that land. Fortunately, it's not a basic, so I'm only going to get 2 tokens here, but that's okay. So they could answer Phylath, but if they do, then I've got Rashmi, and then hopefully I can outcard them. Witch's Oven, sure. This Cobra has been really good this game. Ooh, hit my land. Nice. Okay. I get to kill that plant. So I can actually play Rashmi and Elvish Rejuvenator here. I won't get the trigger off Rashmi because that was my first spell, but the Rejuvenator will put a land into play, and then I can pump up this other plant. And at this point, I'm totally fine trading the Cobra off. I don't need it anymore. And if they trade with it, then it just means they're not blocking one of these big fatties. So that works for me. And they scooped. And that's what green-blue ramp is trying to do. Let's see if we can do 6 more like that. And opponent, go. Opponent, go. The game's not listening to me. It seems like when I say opponent go, an opponent should just appear, right? That's how these things work. Apparently not. Oh, found somebody. 666 boy. I'm definitely keeping this hand. Selvala is kind of a scary card, but I think I'm going to play it on 3. Maybe I'll play the Rejuvenator. I don't know. We'll see what's going on. Blood Artist. Okay. That might actually make Sylvana a safer play, because if they're playing red-black sacrifice, they probably don't have especially large creatures in their deck. So next turn, I can go 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, bummer. So I'm going to have to sacrifice a creature here. I think it has to be Lotus Cobra, as much of a bummer as that is. What am I discarding? Rex Sage probably doesn't matter here, so we'll discard that. All right. Their hub, okay. Should have looked to see what I put on the bottom. Yeah. All right, I hope they don't get an extra card off of Selvala. But next turn I get to play Kogla, kill Rankle. Ooh, Grey Merchant. I am almost dead. Kogla does not have reach. I guess I'm discarding the forest. This is gonna be close. Oh no, I'm just dead, huh? I have to gain life. So I have... Oh, was I dead there? Oh, okay. Well, they got me. My deck actually did fine. My opponent's deck just did way more. And that Blood Artist wrecked me pretty hard. And killing that, playing Rankle that turn, cost me an extra turn on Kogla, and it cost me 3 life from the attack. So Rankle got me pretty good. Dalibor. Ugh. 2 lands? I think I have to mulligan this. 1 land gets me to Supreme Will, which can find me another land, but I have all expensive cards. Ugh. Well, this has Llanowar Elves Wolf of Lowhaven. There's no blue in it, but I'm going to put Into the Royal back, because even though Sublime Epiphany is double blue, I don't really want to play Into the Royal for less than double blue, and Sublime Epiphany is really powerful even late in the game. Botanical Sanctum, that was nice. I can't do anything with 3 mana, so we'll just play this on the forest. No, don't. And attack for 1. So next turn, I'll have 5 I can escape to the wilds. Do I want a Lotus Cobra? No, I want to escape to the wilds. Play this one. Alright, so now I need to find a payoff card. So next turn, if I play Cobra, so that's 4 plus land, 5, 6, spring, 3, 4. I think I can just play like all my stuff. Play a land. Get a blue, I guess. Play Growth Spiral. Oh, I guess not. I thought I was going to play this island, but Growth Spiral says to play land from your hand. I guess I will spring. For an island. Do I want to play this Arachneer? I guess. And I'll pass. That was a pretty good escape to the wilds. Played all of the cards except one, and it was a land. So at this point, I think I'm willing to trade the Cobra for the Midnight Reaper. Or I could trade Elves plus Arachneer. That's got to be better, right? Well, now I'll just trade the Cobra. It's done its job. I am not blocking the Legion with the Arachneer because the Midnight Reaper will see it go and they'll get an extra card out of it. And I don't want to give them the extra card for the 1/1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 mana next turn. Knight of the Ebon Legion's pretty good. Ooh, there's a card. What should I say? Say 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, I can do all the things that I want. Yes, I would like to draw a card, please. Well, that was sweet. And now I have Sublime Epiphany that can copy a Gargaroth if they don't kill it. I hope they don't kill it. Yes. Oh, this is going to go so sweet. So I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to Sublime Epiphany. I can get a whole bunch of mana, though. Let's do that first. Sure, do that. Whoops, what happened? Submit. Mind. No, that was not a good 2 draws. Guess I'll explore here. Alright. I think I want a beast at this point. Because I just want to get them dead. So they're going to block with the Legion. They're going to try to pump it. I'm going to counter that ability. So I'm going to counter, create a token, draw a card, and you know what? I'm also going to return my own this. No, I'm not. That would be silly. So we're going to do these things. Target a creature I control. This. Target a player, me. Ha ha ha. Get wrecked. And they scooped. And there's a good reason why Sublime Epiphany is awesome. So I got an Elder Gargaroth. I got to stop them from killing my Elder Gargaroth. And I got to draw a card. And then I also drew a card off of the 2/3 that I had. Thank you, Myroy. I was thinking about bouncing my 2/3 because I didn't want them to draw cards off it, but then I was like, oh, but they'd have to play a creature with power 6 or greater. That doesn't seem very likely. Oh, also, I'm going to get a card off of it, so yeah, it would be silly to bounce it. And I could have bounced their 1/1, but I didn't want to bounce their 1/1. Let them draw an extra card. Although, at that point, maybe it was right. Whew. I have no ramp cards. I mean, I have Sylvala, but it doesn't exactly count. I feel like this hand doesn't do enough. I think I have to mulligan it. It's pretty close, but I think I got to throw it back. I can't even play Sylvala in this hand because I need double green. Alright, this is a little better. Alright, what's going back? Is it Escape to the Wilds? Or one of the expensive cards? It's got to be Escape to the Wilds. I think my other 2 cards are better payoffs. Right, they're aggressive. This is a pretty bad hand against an aggro deck, which is unfortunate. Yuck. So I'm going to have to Krasis for 3 next turn. After taking 7, probably 8, which puts me to 5. Krasis will put me back up to 6. Yeah, I think I'm dead. Oh, yeah, I'm definitely dead. On a scale of 1 to dead, I am... It's a bummer, too, because Kogla was going to do some work, but we did not have enough time. Killed me on turn 5. I believe we call that getting wrecked. My first hand would have been even worse against that. Well, not necessarily. I did have Skoos in that hand, but all I would have done is like trade with the Corpse Knight. That was a really good aggro draw from my opponent. I haven't seen that out of black-white yet. Also, if we played all black decks, played 4, played black-white twice, we played red, black twice, right? I think so. And like almost all of the decks had that 2/1 that you can bring back if your hand is empty or has 1 card in it. That's kind of weird. Alright, let's see if we can play something other than a black deck. Not that there's a particular problem with a black deck, but just more variety would be nice. Yeah, this hand looks good. Elves into Cobra. Opponent goal. I don't understand, Dual Lands. Go Elves. So next turn I can... Ooh, I can play the Cobra and the Haven next turn. Sick. Because I can do this. I would like a green source. Oh, opponent go. I see, that's an exclamation mark. Yes. Alright, so my mana's ramping pretty good. I'm going to need something to do with it. There's something to do with it. I want an island. I guess I want to play a green source. Play the Scoos. And send in for 2. So I have 4, 5, 7 mana if I can draw a land. I would really like to draw a land. Otherwise I only have 5 mana, which is a pretty bad crisis. Oh. Well, a land is still what I want. Oh, but it comes into play tapped land. Ugh. Well, I'm still playing Crisis. I can't not. 1, 2, 3. That Rex Sage was pretty good there. Yeah, I'll trade the Cobra. I don't particularly need it anymore, and I do want creatures in the graveyard for Scoos to eat. Yeah. It makes sense that they took it. If I had sent with Scoos, they probably would have traded. So a land allows me to play Mind. Oh, killed Scoos. No land. So I'm actually going to send the Elf. The reason being, I can get more damage in with the Cobra if they want to trade. And if they trade with the Elf, and I find a land, the Cobra still gives me that 6 mana to play Mind. So that's fine. I guess I'll play the Arachnir. I really need to find one more land. Ooh, Mirari's Wake. Well, they have a ton of mana next turn. I didn't find my land. Alright, well, I'll send these. They probably trade at this point. Yeah. But like I said, I still don't really need it. I have Thassa's Intervention to try to counter something they play. They don't play anything I care that much about. I can Intervention to try and find a land. I don't even care about that, right? Yeah, I do not care about that. That's fine. I can't even exile any of my cards because they're all too cheap. They thought I was going to get the Krasis. But it is converted mana cost 3 or greater. Krasis converted mana cost is only 2. Except when it's on the stack. Because X counts as 0 unless the spell is on the stack. Diplomat. Do I care about that one? I care a little bit. Yeah, I care enough. Counter, unless you pay... Sure, that much. Come on, land. Land, 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 land. Land. Land? Yes. Okay, so I'm pretty sure this works the way I want. Pretty sure I can... Oh, actually... So I'm pretty sure I can Gear Hulk into Mind. But I could leave up Sublime Epiphany and copy, I don't know, whatever, a Spider or whatever. And then I could Gear Hulk the Sublime Epiphany. No, I can't leave up Sublime Epiphany because Elspeth Conquers Death will make it cost 2 more. So I'm going to Gear Hulk, and I think I can cast Mind with it. Yeah. Attack! Alright, shields down. What you got? Ooh, nothing? Ho ho! We did it. That was sort of an awkward draw from... I mean, it was a great start for our deck, but then it was kind of awkward after that, but then our opponent didn't really do anything. So Mirari's Wake was really scary, but then apparently they didn't have any spells to play with it after. I do want to Torrential Gear Hulk a Sublime Epiphany. That's my goal for this draft, if I can make it happen. Because then you copy the Sublime Epiphany. Sublime Epiphany does a bunch of stuff, including copying your Gear Hulk, and then you get to flashback something else if you have another instant. This hand's a bit awkward, but I'm going to keep it, because I can go turn 1 Elf, turn 2 Lotus Cobra, play a land, get blue Growth Spiral, and then hopefully I will have found another land by then. And in fact, if I draw an untapped land, I can even play the Wolf Willowhaven, which would be a sweet turn 2. Play 6 mana worth of spells on turn 2. See if we can make it happen. I need any untapped land to make it happen. Not a land. Alright. Come on, any untapped land. Yes! Well, that was an amazing turn 2. That's going to have me going with 5 mana into the next turn, or 7 if I draw a card, land. Oh, if I draw a land and can play the Great Henge on turn 3, oh, that would be so good. Yes! Yes! And then I can play Arachnir and draw a new card. Man, what a start. Yeah, I don't care about the Lotus Cobra anymore. And Mentor them could draw them extra cards. They probably don't want to trade. That's what I thought. Alright, now I just need to draw creatures. And into the royal. Ah, man. So I can into the royal that back to get the Great Henge back for a turn. But it's only a turn, so I would need another creature to make that worthwhile. Well, there's a creature. So I guess we'll do that. Find blue. I would like to kick this. Unfortunately, I don't have the blue to Thassa's Intervention when it comes back down. Oh, but I got the Rex Sage? Oh man. This hand. Does mean the Rex Sage won't draw me a card, but I think that's okay. I spent 2 turns casting Cast Out. Ugh, Krasis. I think I'm doing this first, though. And they've had enough. Yeah, that was a pretty bonkers draw for me. I don't know if I've ever played 6 mana worth of spells on turn 2 outside of, like, Legacy Cube before. And even then you need to have, like, Black Lotus or something ridiculous. This is fine. Growth Spiral on 2, Rashmi on turn 3. Hope I've seen something by then. Ooh, is the Cobra earlier? I'm gonna Growth Spiral instead of Cobra. The reason is it's possible the Cobra gets bounced, and I would really like to draw Rashmi, or sorry, play Rashmi next turn. And Growth Spiral guarantees that, whereas the Lotus Cobra could get killed. Alright, don't counter this. Nice. Note, I could have played Cobra there to guarantee Kogla next turn, but I don't even know that I want to guarantee Kogla next turn, because they don't have another creature in play, and I'd lose out on cards from Rashmi, and it's less mana efficient, so I didn't want to do any of those things. Alright, so they have the answer for Rashmi. Acceptable. If I play Cobra and then a land, no. I'm going to just escape here. Looks like Phylath is coming down next turn. So I could... No, never mind. I was going to say I could explore and play 2 lands and play Phylath and lose out on the counters, but I don't even have a second land, so that's not even guaranteed. So I am not doing that. Alright, so I'm not going to get the counters on stuff, but I do get a bunch of 1/1s. So I guess I'm on Lotus Cobra now. Maybe I was supposed to explore, just because I was losing it. And Cobra could be worth a card later. Whoa. We have all the pieces. I'm gonna do this. Oh, shoot. No, never mind. I was gonna say I tapped it wrong, but there wasn't actually another way to tap it. Sure. Great Henge. Play land. Get in for 7. So it looks like my opponent is on a similar deck to me, but they just got mana flooded. That is one of the dangers of this kind of deck. I'm gonna counter that, and the reason that I'm countering it is because it puts it in the yard for Torrential Gearhulk. I'm gonna make a token of Kogla because it can fight that elf. Oh man, I was gonna get to do it and they scooped too soon. I was gonna get to kill the elf with the token and let the real one sacrifice to legend rule. Well, that was the game I was gonna do it, but my opponent just scooped too fast. The queues seem really long. Normally it goes a lot faster. I wonder if there's just not very many people cubing. I mean, you know, really long, like a minute or a minute and a half, but still, it's long for what I'm used to. All right, Myro, have a good night. Thanks for joining us. This appears to be the best performing deck that I have drafted thus far in this format. This one's closed. It does have the turn 1 elf, but it doesn't do anything after that, and I need lands. I think I have to mulligan this. I hate to mulligan a turn 1 elf, but that's the way it goes. Yeah, I'll keep this one. Doesn't have any acceleration, which really sucks. I think I'm putting Escape to the Wilds in the bottom. It has to be one of the expensive cards, and I think Phylath is better, although right now it doesn't make any tokens, but by the time I get to 6 mana, I expect it will. Rejuvenator was good, but I really wanted like a 2-mana spell. If they're on a control deck. So I'm probably playing Reclamation Sage next turn instead of Rejuvenator to blow up their tome. And they might just counter it, but that's okay. I do need to hit some more lands, though. If I draw a land next turn, I get to Rejuvenator and Llanowar Elf. And then if they don't kill the elf, well, and I have to draw another land. Then I can play Phylath. I probably don't want to play Phylath until I can landfall immediately, because in their colors they're likely to be able to answer Phylath, so I don't want to give them a chance to do that. There's that land. Sure. Alright, found a land. Elder Gargaroth is going to the bottom. That's important to know. So if I can draw... I can play Kogla next turn. That's got to be good enough. Finishes a sorcery. Oh, I get to eat that with Kogla. Yeah. Definitely doing that. I'm going to send my 1/1. They're not going to block because they need that 1/1 to sacrifice to finish to kill Kogla. I am not playing this land because I want to use it to landfall with Phylath next turn. So I want to play Phylath, get my 2 tokens, and then play a land to landfall. And then the turn after that will be a Hydroid Krasis turn. That Kogla did some work. Sure. Alright, so next turn I have 8 mana, so I can Krasis for 6. That seems good enough. Sure. So they keep answering my stuff, but they keep answering my stuff at, like, they're getting 2 for 1 each time. So this is working out pretty well for me. They're almost out of resources. I get to refill now with this Krasis. Ooh, Great Henge, that's good too. Oops, I didn't mean to attack with the 0/1, but that's okay. So next turn, 8, I have 9 mana. Gonti, that's a good one. Hope they don't hit any of my bombs. I think most of them are gone. Yeah. Alright, Great Henge. No. Specifically tap the mountain so it wouldn't do it that way. Dang it. Alright, so I'm leaving Supreme Will up. I'm going to let them hit me with Gonti and gain their 3. So they have 2 cards, one of mine and one of theirs. Oh, right. They get to do that. Okay. Goodbye, Mind. Mind is a terrible thing to waste. But I can still Supreme Will. I'm either countering something or drawing a card, and then I can Torrential Gearhulk back the Supreme Will. You got me, Gonti. Alright. What do we have? I guess it's going to be Escape the Wilds, because I definitely don't want any of the rest of that. I guess I'll Explore. They've got one creature in their yard. I have several. I don't have any ways of getting my creatures back, and they may be splashing Scarab God or something, so I want to remove all of my problematic cards out of my graveyard. And one more. So they're effectively 22. Yeah, I don't think the extra one matters. Alright, so I have Gearhulk up for a counterspell, or a draw card. You're bouncing my Great Henge. I think that's fine. So what do I lose to? I lose to like a Wrath, right? So yeah, I guess that's fine. Karn. Okay. I can't counter that with the thing because it's unless they pay 3. But I can counter their next spell this turn. Lurrus or Eliminate? What's in their graveyard? Nothing of relevance, so you can have Lurrus. Well, I'm playing Gearhulk this turn, so I might as well just counter this. Or I could bounce Gonti. Get the Death Toucher off the board. That's probably better, right? Kill him this turn. Whoops. Shoot. Can I go back? I wanted to pay kicker. Oh well. Oh, I messed up again. I should have exiled that artifact out of their graveyard. Sure. Are they dead though? They might be dead. So they can block 2 ground creatures. Yeah. And then they take 1 from Rejuvenator and 1 from Elves plus the 6 from Krasis. Let's also see what I can find. Lotus Cobra pays for itself. Should have played Great Henge first, I guess. Turn this to your hand. Copy this. I draw a card. I could have attacked them, but that was way more fun, right? All right, this one's for all the marbles. Tom Ross stole my name. That's a funny name. I guess it's fine. It's not exciting though. The Elvish Rejuvenator is the reason I can keep this. Come on, opponent. Well, this doesn't do anything when you click it. My kitty does. Uh-oh. Well, maybe they're black-red sack. If they're red aggressive, this was not a good hand for beating red aggressive decks. Luckily, I was on the play, though. Red-white. And no 2-drop. For Rossadon, that's a little problematic. So they are a red aggro deck. Ugh. Well, I have to block. As much as I don't want to throw Rashmi away. I just take too much damage otherwise. Alright, and I can Krasis on 4. Alright, this is working out okay. Surprisingly. Ooh, Phylath could be really good. I really want to see one more land. Act of Treason. Yuck! Alright, so I think I have to play Phylath regardless. Also, I'm just dead. Because Firebrand kills me with Torbrand. I can into the Royal Torbrand when they sack Firebrand. But I have to have another blocker. Which I don't have. Shoot. Alright, well, I'm going to pass and see what happens. I'm probably dead, but there's a chance I'm not. No. No, that's not going to resolve. Do I want to intervention it? Nah. Oh, I can't counter that. Shoot. I forgot about that. Alright, I am dead. Yep. Let's see if they forget to sack it. Yeah, I didn't think so. Alright, well, that's the way it goes. It was almost good enough. That Active Treason actually got me pretty good. Because that was worth like 8 damage. Yeah. I do not normally think Active Treason is good if you're not planning to sack the creature, but it was definitely good there. Alright, I can do another draft here. I'll do best of one. So that last deck worked out pretty well. It was a little soft to aggro decks, but it had some ridiculous starts. Played a lot of aggro decks, though. Alright, let's see. I have another shot at Sarkhan. Fatal Push is good. I could take Fabled Passage. How do I ban this person? Ban, there we go. Fabled Passage is the safe pick. How do I... there's not like a super powerful card. So maybe it's just Fabled Passage. I could take Incubation Druid. I think I'd rather just stay open, so I'll take Fabled Passage. It's disciplined, but not exciting. No, I don't want to become famous. Hazoret's really strong in mono red. Heartless Act is pretty good. Chromatic Lantern's fine. I think this is like Hazoret or Heartless Act. Should I try to go for mono red? Hazoret's really good in mono red. Let's try it. What do we have here? So if I wanted to stay in red, Castle Embereth and Tibalt are both pretty good. Yeah, dual lands. This is I might try to do this mono red thing if it's open. There's not like Warrant to Warden or whatever it's called is fine. Acquisitions Expert is fine. Thassa Deep Dwelling is like combo-rific if you can get things that go with it. I think I'm going to stick on the mono red plan. So then the question is, do I want Castle Embereth or Tibalt? They're both really good. I think I'm going to take Tibalt because I think there's a reasonable chance Castle Embereth wheels. Experimental Frenzy? Alright. There's not many red cards in here, but we can be all about this mono red life. I will point out Experimental Frenzy and Hazoret are not a combo. Otherwise, what's in this pack? There's like lands, and Mentor of the Meek, and Pact of Negation. Yeah. We're on Experimental Frenzy here. Shock is acceptable. Mono red feels a little not open, but also these packs have felt a little weak too. Yeah, we'll just take Shock, see what happens. Ooh, Siege Gang. Aurelia is pretty good too, but I have to dip into white. I don't really want to do that. So I'm going to take Siege Gang. I will point out that this is a pretty high curve red deck so far. Saheeli might be okay. I guess Valakeda's Awakening's okay. Oh, actually, you know what? There's a cycling land. I'll take a cycling land. Dragon Master Outcast is not really where you want to be for mono red, even though I do think that card's pretty good. Kazul's Fury's okay in red, so I'll take that. Red still doesn't feel super open, but I haven't had to take a non-red card yet. What does this do? Interesting, but not going out of red for it. Nice. Sarkhan and Perforos Intervention came back. Alright, do I want Sarkhan? I have a lot of expensive cards already. I feel like I don't want Sarkhan, but it's kind of cool with Tibalt. Or do I want Perforos' Intervention? This card's just okay too. I'll take Sarkhan. Feels a little like Big Red here, except for the Experimental Frenzy and Hazoret are both better in low curve decks. Alright, I can't really afford any more expensive cards. I need to take cheap cards. Ugh. Am I Key to the City? Yeah, I mean, Key to the City can get Hazoret in even through like Experimental Frenzy, so it's okay. I guess I'm forcing mono red here, huh? Nice, Castle Embereth came back. Like I said, it might. This card's okay, but I don't think this is where I want to be on the mono red deck. Although it could be great. It's just so expensive. Do I want Blast Zone? I guess I'll take Rootbound Crag on the off chance. Like, I also have the Sheltered Thicket, so there's a chance that I could go into green if I had to. Yeah, I don't really want any of these. I guess I'll take this. And I guess I'll take this. Alright. I don't know if mono red's open. Maybe there just wasn't good red cards that pack. You know, actually, Saheela looks kind of good in this deck. We got Jaya's Immolating Inferno. Probably not, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I already have 4 things that turn it on. I mean, I don't really want this Grim Initiate, so I guess I'll do that. I could go into Black-Red Sacrifice still. A lot of this is good for that. And Woe Strider's pretty good in the Black-Red Sacrifice deck. This does look like a good Young Pyromancer's deck. Hellrider? Yeah, I mean, I think that's where I want to be. I'd love to see this Phoenix of Ash or Soulscar Mage come back. Ugh, Chandra? Alright. My curve is way higher than I want it to be, but it's really good cards. Royal Eruption? Is there any chance I play Obosh here? Or to cut the 2 drops? And the 4 drops? No, I can't do that. Royal Eruption. Mono Red Storm. Yeah, that's what it is. Crash Through's actually pretty reasonable given that I have Young Pyromancer and Saheeli, but it has to be Shatterskull Smashing, right? I think that's pretty close. I'll take the Smashing. There is actually a chance that the Crash Through comes back as like one of the last 2 cards in the pack. Chain Whirler? Alright. We are all the way in for mono red. Fabled Passage can probably go. There's not a good reason to play that. I may still play the Sheltered Thicket as a cycling land. What am I doing on the Jaya's? Oh man. Grim Lavamancer or Chandra? So Chandra is a Planeswalker for Sarkhan and Jaya's Immolating Inferno. And it gives 2 tokens for Hellrider. And it can flash stuff back. But Grim Lavamancer, nah, it's gotta be Chandra's. Acolyte of Flame. Alright, Grim Initiate came back. I think I just need some cheap cards, so it's fine. Although I'd be happy to cut it if I got the opportunity. Pillar of Flame, I'll take that. Note that if I did end up moving into the Black-Red Sacrifice deck, this Active Treason would be good, and obviously Temple of Malice would be good too. And I'd probably play the off-color Temple, but I do want Pillar of Flame. Oh man, they all came back. So Phoenix is a lot better, but Soulscar Mage is cheap. So I think I'm going to go with that. I need to lower the curve pretty bad. How many legendary permanents do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 for Jaya's Immolating Inferno. That is probably playable. Although, like I said, my curve is pretty high for a mono red deck. Am I more likely to play green or white? I guess white. Yeah, I probably don't want that. What do you have for me? Lava Coil and claim the Firstborn? Or a Cycling Land? I have a lot of playables, although definitely some could be upgraded. Oh, Throne. Is Throne good? No, I don't have very many creatures, right? I'm more burn-based. Yeah, I have a lot to do with my mana, so I'm not going to take the Cycling Land. If it comes back, I'll take it. Ho 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 ho. Torbrand. Torbrand, no D on the end. Yeah, I'll definitely take that. So, I really like the Ox, but this has to be a Firebrand. I just need, I need cheap stuff. Scorching Dragonfire, pretty reasonable. I could do a Akum Hellhound. This could be an Akum Hellhound deck. Attacks sort of like a 1-mana 2/3. Kind of. I have a lot of removal already. Let's go with the Hellhound. I don't know if I'll play it or not. Thundering Rebuke or Weaponize. I don't have a ton of creatures, but I have like Young Pyromancer, and Grim Initiate, and Chandra. Weaponize has got to be good enough. So Magma Jet. Chandler's probably good, right? I have a crap ton of instants and sorceries. It's either that or Magma Jet or Insult to Injury. Well, I think I want the Chandler. Reckless Rage. I don't particularly want Reckless Rage, but I don't particularly want the Cycling Land either. So I'll just take the Rage. Probably not playing either. Man, I have my pickings. Do I want Direfleet Daredevil or Lightning Strike? I think I want Daredevil. It's close. I'm a little short on creatures, so I'll do that. I'm going to miss that Lightning Strike, though. Kingdom Slow came back. I don't think I want Claim the Firstborn, so I'll take the Cycling Land. Do I have more creatures at this point? Actually, I might take Throne. I don't really want the cycling land. Because it comes into play tapped, and I don't want to play comes into play tapped cards. Not splashing for Diva. I'll take this, probably too expensive, probably getting cut. Not playing any of these. I'll take the Thundering Rebuke, probably won't play all of those. I'll take Magma Jet over... No, I'll take Insult. I don't actually know which one's better. I'm going to have to make some cuts here. Okay. So I do have a lot of expensive cards. I think the Ox is the worst of them. So I'm going to cut the Ox. And then... Man, my 4s are all so good. I feel like Hazoret and Experimental Frenzy are at odds with each other. My curve did get kind of low. Let's see. I think I can cut this Kazul's Fury. Is Saheeli actually good enough? It's really good with Weaponize. Oh, Maker. It's probably good enough. I have a lot of things that trigger it. So I think one of the questions here is, am I playing, what's it called? The X spell, Jaya's Inferno. If I am, I need to keep all the legendary cards. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7, which is enough if I'm going to play them all. In my last deck, I had 8, I think, and there was only 1 game it rotted in my hand. So what are my expensive cards? So anything that costs 4 or more is going to go into this category. Smashing won't count because that can be a land. I guess it's all of these, right? And then I guess Key to the City can go. I don't really need that. So Weaponize is another one of the questions. Because if I'm not playing Weaponize, then I don't play, like, Grim Initiate. Grim Initiate is kind of bad, right? I'm not really on that sack life. So maybe I'll cut that one. And then... And normally this would be like a 16-land deck. I do have a lot to do with my mana, so it could be a 17-lander, but I do also have Shatterskull Smashing, so that could be my 17th land. I feel like I need to cut a 4. I feel like it's Experimental Frenzy. I think my curve is just too high. How many creatures is this? This is 11 plus 12, 13, 14, 15-ish. So I guess I'll cut a mountain here. Alright, this looks good. I've got some reach in like Siege Gang and Weaponize. Sarkhan, kind of, depending on what's already on the board. Hazoret and Chandra. Yeah, I have a lot of ways to kill my opponent if they wall up. And I feel like Akoum Hellhound is one of those, like, hope to play it early and get a few damage in, like 4 damage in, and then it can just be thrown away to weaponize or something. This is kind of weird, like an in-between red deck between sort of big red and aggro red. Sure. It's not great, but it's okay. Shoot. Do I have to kill that? Probably have to kill that, right? Yeah. The only thing I was considering is what if I attack for 1 instead of killing it, and then next turn I can Thundering Rebuke whatever they play and then kill the elf. But they might play like a ramp spell that's not creature based, and then I'd be sad. So like that. I am going to Thundering Rebuke it because I just want to spend my mana. I have Chandra coming down next turn and Siege Gang the turn after that. This is like a good curve, but it's kind of a bad curve for like red. Which is kind of weird. Drawing more lands, not really what I wanted. So I am going to shoot down that Marauder. I'm not really expecting a haste creature out of them. Yeah, okay. Golden Egg, fine. I don't think that changes anything. We're just going to plus Chandra. Ugh. I have to play that, right? Yeah. I lose out on like a bunch of damage. No, I'm still going to play it. So next turn I can plus Chandra for mana. And then... balls. Alright, well I got a little wrecked there. We have a Thundering Rebuke still. Yeah. I guess I'm doing this. Somehow I'm turning into the control deck. So they can kill that Chandra, but I did still get 2 1/1s out of the deal. And I can play Siege Gang and fling a token at the Obstructionist next turn. Gross. Ugh, what is with all these lands? Yeah, I'm sending. I can kill the hippo. This is a game where I would have liked Experimental Frenzy. What did they need red mana for? Dryas Immolating Inferno would be pretty good here. Yuck. That was unfortunate. Come on, Immolating Inferno? Or Sarkhan, that would be good too. Sarkhan would be really good. Shatter Skull Smashing? Lava Coil. Well, that's not bad. Prism, sure. Thassa. Oh, they can blink their... Is it just creatures? Yeah, just creatures. So that's not too bad. There's the Immolating Inferno. Luckily, we kept Saheeli alive long enough to be able to cast that. Alright, so if they don't draw anything too good... Oh, that was pretty good. Oh man, they get to keep blinking it too? We might be dead. I need like Hazoret or like Sarkhan. Smashing's not bad. Too bad I can't hit players. So let's see. If I needed to pay 3... Yeah, I can't avoid that. I could beat Spell Pierce by only doing it for 4. What are the chances they have main deck Spell Pierce? Not very high. More likely they have a pump spell. So we'll do it for the full amount. Alright, we're still getting in there. This has definitely been a weird game. This is not the kind of game you expect to see in mono red. Ugh! Ugh! Alright, we're probably dead. Goodbye, Saheeli. Sarkhan would still be pretty good. Yorion. Okay. Now they have a draw engine online. Sarkhan's not even good anymore. Castle is not good enough. I'm going to keep it in hand so that it's a surprise. It's not like I need the mana. I don't think we're winning this game, though. I don't know what I'm hoping to draw. 4 mana Chandra's dead, right? Yeah. Ooh, is Hellrider good enough? No, I don't think so. I could stay alive. No, I can't because they can tap it. But they can tap, what, 2 things? Sure. Alright. Dead, dead, dead. I think I got stuck on the in-between there. The in-between being fast enough and being big enough. I also got very flooded. Do I want to change anything after that game? I feel like I don't. It's worth noting that because I'm not playing Experimental Frenzy, Ox might be better. How many removal spells am I playing? I felt like I played a lot that game. So I've got 1, 2, I'm not going to count Weaponize. 3, 4, 5, 6, although that's a land, 7. This kind of counts, 8. Yeah, I have a lot of removal. Maybe I cut a removal spell. Thundering Rebuke and Lava Coil. Rebuke can hit Planeswalkers. Lava Coil exiles. Probably hitting Planeswalkers is better. Put the Ox in. The Ox also gives me something to do with my graveyard, which right now I can't do anything with my graveyard. Kind of. The Magmatic Chandler cares about instants and sorceries in the graveyard to get bigger, so I guess that sort of counts the graveyard. I mean, sort of uses the graveyard, but otherwise I'm not using that graveyard at all. Sure. I'm going to play the Daredevil first. It's more likely to get to be able to attack, and I care less about it being killed immediately. Play something I can pillar. Yes. Like that. Alright, now I need to draw a land, and I'll be in great shape. Sure. Land, 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 land. Yes. Alright, Hellrider gives me 5 damage. Chandra gives me 2, but it puts the Planeswalker on the board. Alternatively, the thing about Chandra is I can use her as a surprise removal spell. So I think I'm going to go with the Hellrider here. Also, next turn with Chandra, never mind. Chandra can't get lands. Chainwhirler, okay. Oh, we'll Chandra that down. Chainwhirler is kind of a weird one in a 2-color deck. And this Ox looks like it's going to be quite good this game. Note I had plenty of removal this game, so cutting a removal spell for Ox looks like it's working out. They have their own Hellrider. I think I want to add mana with Chandra. Maker, I'm streaming to both Twitch and YouTube. And Facebook. Give me those 3 cards. That was not a good 3 cards. I guess it's okay. But Maker, I can only look at comments through one thing at a time, and it's easier to look at the comments through Twitch, so that's the one I pay attention to. Well, Ox felt pretty good. They looked a little bit like they were trying to be a mono red deck like me, but they had black in their deck. What black spells did they play that last game? I don't even remember. I guess. It is not great. With a regular mono red deck, I don't think you could keep a hand like this. But because I have things to do at high amounts of mana, the extra mountains aren't just dead. Do you really want to draw a 2-drop, though? Like Young Pyromancer, that would be awesome. Young Pyromancer, please. Well, a 3-drop's pretty good. Especially that 3-drop following with Hellrider following. This might get countered, but I have to play into it. Yep, that is not surprising. Karn. You can have this island. And I think I want a Hellrider Karn. And then even if they deal with Hellrider, I can Royal Eruption Karn if I need to. Or Torbrand and shock it. Alright, so we're playing a land. I guess I'm going to Torbrand and shock Karuga. And then the question is, do I want to do 2, 5, do I want to do 7, or do I want to kill Karn? I have to do 7, right? That's too much damage. And all they can do is get the worst of their top 2 cards on their next turn. You can have a land. So they probably bounce Torbrand pre-combat so that I don't get the extra damage off the Hellrider. Which leaves them with 4 mana, 5 mana. I'm not sure if they played a spell yet. So I imagine they're leaving up a counterspell for Torbrand, right? But do I just play into it anyways? Yeah, just play into it anyways. I think I have enough burn in my hand that I just want to make them... I don't want them to have the mana to draw their 2 cards. I just want to, like, end this game as quickly as possible. Make them use their cards. Ooh, do they have an answer for Hellrider too? No. Play Weaponize. A land is actually a fine draw next turn because it gives me 2 mana so I can sack to Siege Gang. Play Siege Gang and sack. Giant's fine. I just have so much reach now. Ooh. Well, you can't have Gearhulk. Sure. We'll see what they do, but I might Royal Eruption the Bone Crusher Giant. Ox. It's 2 mana inefficient to do that. I think I just play Siege Gang and pass. As awkward as that is. Because then it's just so much damage next turn, unless they do something. And if things go wrong, I do have this Ox. Thassa's Intervention. That was good. Well, I still don't want to trade yet. They probably pick up their Torrential Gearhulk, I imagine, which keeps a counterspell up. Yeah. So I might Royal Eruption just to get them to use the Gearhulk, and then Ox. Land. If I don't kick it, they'll know something's up, right? But they kind of have to counter it anyways. So I want them to counter this, and then I'll play the Ox if they counter it. Oh, I shouldn't have played the land first. Yeah. Yeah. If I hadn't played the land first, they wouldn't have known that I was saving mana for something else. I am not sure that I've played this game ideally. I might still get there, though. A removal spell would actually be pretty sweet here, because they'd have to counter that. And then I could play the Ox. Druid, sure. Something to do with their mana, too, if they don't have to Gearhulk. That's pretty good. Hellhound's good enough. They have to counter that, because otherwise I have lethal after a Hellrider attack plus 2 weaponized triggers. Alright, draw land. Nice. So all I have to do is not die, right? Counterspell. Yeah. So I fling Ox, and then next turn I attack with Hellrider and fling Hellrider. So they have to do something about it. It's also on board, so they know it. Maybe for that reason I was supposed to send the Hellrider. So that they don't have like a kill spell. Because that would ruin my plans. So if I block here, I take 10. Sure, that's fine. This could be a trick if they have a removal spell, but they only have blue and green left, so it's probably fine. Because a bounce spell's not good enough. A green removal spell would be unfortunate, but there are not very many of those, and most of them aren't very good, so they may not be getting played. Here's to hoping. They could have Nimble Obstructionist or the counterspell that can counter triggered abilities in hopes that that's good enough, but I have this 2-mana creature in my hand that I can fling to, so it's probably fine. Unless they have a bounce spell plus one of those, and then I might run out of mana. They didn't do any of those things. Alright, well, let's attack and see what happens. If they're sacking that, that's got to be good for me. You're dead. Well, that was a lot closer than I felt like it should have been. Ox was good there. Better than a removal spell. Alright, I'm going to play one more, and then I'm going to log out after this game. Man, I'm playing cube and I'm playing mono red. That's so not me. The things I do to try and win. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this. Chandra into Hellrider is just so good. Ooh, and I can shock that. Or I can firebrand that. Is that better? That's probably better. The reason I say it's probably better is because if they're playing Pelt Collector, they're probably on some kind of aggro deck, which means I can probably shock their next play. Play something I can shock. Kinda. But that's fine, it's not a creature. Maybe I was supposed to shock that, because then it would die to this Chandra. I didn't consider that. I probably should have done that. Yeah, because now it's that Rishkar is going to get big enough to block. Yeah, I screwed up. So I could shock it minus Chandra, shock it. But then Chandra can die to this land. But then Hellrider gets to kill this guy. Man, that was a big mistake. Oh, you know what? Hellrider, Chandra tokens, kills him already. So we'll just do that. We just won't attack with Hellrider. I still lose Chandra here. But, oh well. Ugh. Ugh. I'm going to lose this game because I didn't shock that guy. Man. Well, Chain Whirler is pretty good because I can first strike Rishkar and then shock it. And next turn, the Ox comes down. Throw away one card, draw 3. Ugh. Oh. Ugh. This game is getting so out of hand. Now if I play the Ox, I don't have shock. I kind of need shock to kill that Gearhulk. Tibalt? Tibalt wasn't bad. I think I just take the 7 from Rishkar because I'm not worried about my life total. First strike damage. Shock. I don't know if I'm dead yet. If this works, I might be okay. Because Ox is going to draw me 3 more cards. No! Alright, well, I'm dead. Am I dead on board? I'm not dead on board. Oh yeah, I am if they activate their land. They did it. I'm not dead on board. I also have nothing in hand. Well, the green-white aggro deck is gonna get me. Well, mistakes were made. definitely. I lost this game off the back of that not shocking on turn 2. But that's the way it goes. Alright, well, thank you for joining me. Sorry that was an anticlimactic ending, but I think we had a pretty good run anyways. And I will be back next Monday at 7. Hope you join me then.